So we'll go on to that because later on that day, I forget what happened. I think it was both
Ubisoft and EA. I think EA went first and then Ubisoft.
Yes. So EA happened, and they basically turned it into because there was a couple of big games. Because we'll talk about that towards the end of E3. But they showed off first off Mass Effect, which is kind of like okay.
Mass Effect's cool.
Yeah, they already talked about that. It's gonna be out for holiday this year, which is like okay. Need for Speed. They showed off their new version of that. And then, what everybody was waiting for, Star Wars. First, they showed the the Old Republic Knights of the Fallen Empire, which is coming out in October. And then they showed that was it for then. Like, I was like, really? Because they were hyping Star Wars. Like, we're going to show more Star Wars later. But right now, we'll show you the Old Republic, which is kind of interesting. And then they showed this game that reminded me of Yoshi's Woolly World, but it wasn't. It was called Unraveled. Which was a very interesting type of concept of a game. You're basically this yarn person, and you're connecting someone's life together through yarn, basically. And
lots of yarn lately.
Yeah, what was up with that? Like, I saw it, I made fun of it for being Yoshi, but then it was like, oh, it's not that at all. It's a whole different concept.
Yeah, I don't know. Someone tweeted out, too, about EA's thing. It was like, men, guns, actions, explosion, more men, yarn. It's like, what? Okay.
That basically sums it up. Because then there was Plan for the Zombie. They showed that off. And if NHL 16.
Sports games.
Yeah, they showed off the Rory McIlroy game. Ultimate Teams, but they have like their own fantasy thing going on over there too. They showed off a little bit of Madden, which now you could actually, because they actually want to make it easier for people.
Draft.
Yeah, they had a fantasy draft.
The fantasy draft for Madden.
Yeah, and they will actually have it throughout all sports now. They have it for FIFA and they have it for basketball too. But the thing with Madden, which surprised me, they actually have a practice mode now, and it's actually in the training camps of the teams, which I thought was interesting. And they're like, we want to bring more people into this, so there's veterans that'll just jump right into the game. They know the plays and all that stuff. But we have a training mode now, Madden, so you can kind of practice and know what you're doing in the game.
I feel like Madden's always had a practice mode.
Really? I never played it, so I don't know.
I mean, I remember old school Madden, old Madden.
But what about the recent ones?
I don't know. I haven't played a recent Madden.
Yeah.
The last Madden I played was like 10.
Oh, okay.
But I know that like Madden like 2000 on like the Nintendo 64 had a practice mode.
Yeah, and I felt like you should have one because it can, I don't know if it could get complicated or not. I mean, I kind of know football and you can know the plays and whatnot, but I feel like it's unfortunate that the other person gets to see the play you pick, but that's different to me. But, you know, that was like back then Madden. I don't know how that's changed. But I did like the practice mode, but they brought that to be a new thing. Then they brought up NBA Live 16, which who plays that?
I mean, 2K is where it's at for NBA.
Yeah.
There are some people who still play live. There are some people who prefer it, but most people play 2K.
My favorite part of that, though, was Hoop God came up, and they actually scanned his face to put into the game. Like, why out of all people they had to pick him? He was so funny. He made it awkward for like the dude, token like white dude. He had to just be like, "What up, man? How you doing? You look like you're packing pounds. Are they treating you nice?" It's like, oh my gosh, this guy brought a whole different vibe to EA press conference right now. and then the best part was he scanned his face and he's like, "Damn, that looks real." It's like, oh my God, did you really have to sell it like that? But he made it so funny. Like, it was a lot of random just funniness. And then they showed a bunch of mobile games. They had Star Wars on mobile, which, come on, really? Then they had this awkward moment, which I felt bad for Pele, because they had Pele come out. The world famous superstar Pele won multiple World Cups. Just a star of Brazil, was a star in New York, just a star everywhere. Everybody loves him. Everybody knows him. Well, I assume so. I don't know if people today know who he is. But they had him sit there and just tell stories about soccer or about football. And it's like, why is this happening? Because it was just so awkward. Like, and then they go to FIFA and then they show Pele talking again in the video. It's like, why didn't you just show that? Like,
right?
I don't know. That interview was just so out of place. I don't know. So anyway, and here's the thing. All right, so EA went dead on Twitch, and this is why YouTube went and bragged like EA was the most watched thing on YouTube, but that's because Twitch went down. So everybody in chat's like, go to YouTube, because it was the exact moment where it went dead that Battlefront was about to come on. We felt,
Conspiracy theory? I think so.
I think so. And Battlefront. Holy crap.
Battlefront looks a lot better than it was. People were giving it
Credit for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually am not a fan of a lot of Star Wars fans. I actually remember Shadows of the Empire for N64 being one of my favorite Star Wars games, but Battlefront looks sick.
Battlefront looks dope. People are still upset there's no space combat. Expect DLC in the future for $50,000 or whatever.
Probably. It's EA.
But yeah, it's exactly it's
EA.
But from what they did show us, Battlefront looks pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I might. I wasn't gonna get it.
That was another pass.
I was gonna let Battlefront pass, but now I think I'm gonna get Battlefront.
Well, I'm on the Battlefield or Battlefront bandwagon now. Rating EA.
EA, give them a B.
Uh,
Battlefront looked really good, but I wasn't too impressed with all that much else.
Yeah, that was it. Battlefront was like the thing for me. That's what gives the B- for them. I felt Battlefront was it. Other games were.
I mean, but like the only reason I'm giving them the B instead of the B- is because it completely changed my mind. Like I said, I was gonna pass on Battlefield, but now I'm like sold on Battlefield because of that. So that's why it was the fact I was able to change my mind. I'll give it a little extra.
Yeah, I don't.
But like I said, I'm not the I don't care about Madden. I definitely don't care about Live. I don't care about NHL. I don't care about FIFA. I don't care about the sports games. I love sports, but I don't care about sports games.
Mm.
And then like I said, Battlefront completely changed my mind. But the rest of EA just didn't really care for it.
I'm waiting for the day we have esports games.
Esports sports games. Competitive Madden. I'm pretty sure there is competitive Madden. It's just we don't really hear about it.
Oh, yeah, no, they do. They have competitions for that. They have tournaments, but I mean, like you're in a tournament as an avatar and you're playing the game in the game.
Oh god,
that's what I mean. Sports, the game.
Sports, the game. Coming to a console near you, 2020.
So Ubisoft happened later in that day. It was a jam-packed day. Now Ubisoft, prior to their conference, there was maybe about 4 or 5 cuss words in like all of E3.
And then Ubisoft came on, and they led off, of course, with
South Park.
The fractured but whole.
Yeah, like I think they're changing their tone. It's fractured but whole. I think they're going in a different route here, Steve.
It's the fractured butthole, okay?
I try to troll. Yes. So Fractured Butthole is their new title. A bunch of cursing in it was great. And then Matt Stone and Trey Parker, the creators of South Park, came out. They talked about Aisha Tyler called them on and said, I thought you weren't going to make another game. Yeah, we're whiny. We can't lie.
Well, they did. They were like, well, we weren't going to. But it wasn't until the end of Stick of Truth that we kind of figured out how to make a video game, and we wanted to make another one.
And then that happened.
Yeah.
And but this looks interesting. Hopefully,
the fractured butthole.
The title itself is great.
The title itself is amazing.
It's typical South Park.
They're switching from like the wizard play to superheroes.
Yeah, like it was like the Raccoon Coon and Friends.
Coon and Friends.
Yeah, like when I saw Mintberry Crunch, I was like,
Mintberry Crunch.
That was my favorite out of all of them, and I hope they have Cthulhu in this and everything. Come on, that would be amazing. Barbara Streisand. They have Mecha Barbara. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh,
dude, this game. I didn't play Stick of Truth. I kind of want to go and play Stick of Truth now just so I can play the Fractured Butthole.
I need to find Stick of Truth because that's another one I haven't played yet, and I've been meaning to so badly. And I think it's pretty cheap right now too.
Yeah.
But like, we're bro gamers. What can you expect? But Fractured Butthole looks great. That sentence was great. But Stick of Truth, I have to play that now before I play Fractured Butthole. Like,
it's on my to-do list now.
Yes. And then Ubisoft started with this game For Honor, which was a great hype.
Right, Ricky and I had the same reaction to this. When they had the hype introduction cinematic video, I was like, this game looks great.
And then they had gameplay.
And I was like, this game looks horrible.
It was boring as hell. Boring. Maybe it's just the fact that it's an alpha or pre-alpha.
I don't know, but it looked a lot like Civilization.
Yes.
And then, but it looked like a campy version of Civilization because they went into like the 1v1 mode and no one was attacking. Yeah. And whenever someone attacked, it would just get parried. And then like if someone came up from behind and tried to hit them, they turned around and slashed that guy and went back straight to parry. I'm like, this looks so bad.
That was the thing that bugged me the most. It's like you start off in battle with your army, And then you're just on the side fighting with somebody, and that was it. Like it was like, wait, what? You're just abandoning your whole crew. What was that?
That game, like I said, the cinematic on that game looks so nice. And I was like, this game looks dope as hell. And then they went to gameplay, and I was like, this game looks absolutely horrible.
And then they went to the Division,
again, the same footage you've been seeing for the last 3 years.
The Crew Wild One expansion, which was like, okay, the Crew was still a thing. I forgot about that game.
Well, yeah, The Crew is a game that what I tweeted, I was like, no one plays this game and no one asked for this expansion pack, so why did it happen?
And then there was Trials
Fusion expansion pack.
Awesome Level Max, which is like...
It's a cat riding a unicorn, and everyone was like, oh my god, this is crazy. And I was like, again, no one plays Trials Fusion, and no one asked for this, so why did this happen?
I'm not going to lie, I never heard of that game.
Trials Fusion? It's basically a game where you're just trying to get from the beginning of a level to the end of a level without crashing. You're a guy on like a dirt bike or whatever.
Really?
It's like $20 game.
I actually thought it was an Adult Swim game for a minute, because they had that unicorn game for
that robot unicorn.
Yeah, that thing. I thought that's what it was when it first came on, but
no. I mean, Trials Fusion. It's a fun game for 5 minutes.
And then they had their best moment. They had their Just Dance moment, because they had to make their big announcement for Just Dance.
Oh god.
The awkward performance that they had. Oh my god. It was bad. But hey, big news on Just Dance. There's a Just Dance Unlimited. It's a subscription service where you can get all the latest songs streamed to you.
I guess if there's any highlight to Just Dance.
Yeah, I don't know why this is still. Why do people? I mean, people love it.
There are people who play it. Like, not everyone plays Call of Duty and Halo and stuff. They need other things to play on Xbox and PlayStation than
are people really going to pay for this this streamable service? I don't know. I feel they're taking a big risk with that. Honestly, I don't know.
They might. If you like Just Dance enough, you will.
I mean, but you have to play like literally like every day or something. Like there's just I don't know.
Some people, you never know.
That's true. All right, and then they showed Rainbow Six Siege. This time they had a little more cinematics.
Rainbow Six Siege, I think it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, they had Angela Bassett in there, which I was like, I know the actress from somewhere. Angela Bassett's in it, and she looked pretty kick-ass in it.
Yeah.
And it looks interesting. They actually announced it as a September 24th release. They showed this game, indie game Trackmania, out of all the games that caught my eye.
Trackmania was all right.
I love that type of game. Just a straight racing, just no
What's crazy is there's like loop-to-loops, and you're going at like 5,000 miles an hour.
Yes.
Game looks pretty insane.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that one. Then it showed Assassin's Creed Syndicate, based in like old time like Europe, like early 19th century, late 19th century.
I'm so tired of Assassin's Creed, I can't even.
And then Ghost Recon's Wildlands, which is actually like based on like cartels and
that one looks pretty cool. I think Wildlands looked pretty cool.
And basically that was it for Ubisoft's rating.
I'll go B- on them.
Same.
There was a couple of cool games that caught my eye, and a couple of games I just didn't really give a shit about.
Yeah.
Like I said, Ghost Recon Wildlands looks so cool, especially because there's more than one way to do a mission.
Yes.
Like I found that to be awesome. Trackmania, like you said, looked pretty cool. And then there was the expansion pack of Trials Fusion and the Crew I couldn't care less about.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm over Assassin's Creed, so I didn't really care about Syndicate. I know there were some people who were thrilled beyond belief about it.
Yes.
I wasn't one of them.
I don't know. People cheered and went nuts for it. I went nuts over something else that happened in the next conference, which you're getting into.
Yeah.